Because our next speaker is Alice Wei, the Director of Partnerships at Meta. She's also a trained coach and an inclusivity and diversity champion. She's here to give us tips on how to get discovered with entertaining storytelling. Everyone, here's Alice.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Wow, look at these good-looking people today. So, on your way here, how many of you were scrolling through your social media apps and looking at content? Yeah? Okay. All right. Actually, less than I was expecting since I heard this as a creator brands crowd. And how many of you actually remember the content that you scrolled through? Yeah, fewer hands. I see like only one. That's because it's really hard, right? Nowadays, we're inundated with so much content across multiple social media apps. And as creators, as brands, it's really difficult to stand out. So that's why I'm really excited about the topic I have today, which is how to get discovered with entertaining storytelling. But before we jump into it, let me tell you a bit about myself. My name is Alice. Yeah, that's me. And I have the pleasure of leading an amazing partnerships team at Meta. I've been at Meta for about 7 years now. And our partners include Kobe. Oops, wrong slide. Our partners include Kobe, support our advertisers, our brands, and our creators across Asia Pacific. And the reason why I'm really excited about talking about social media and our trends and how to discover today is because this landscape is forever changing. So to date myself a bit, just a wee bit, when I was in university was when Facebook and Twitter first launched. And I still remember us doing a lot of text updates. So texting, oh, this is what I had for lunch today, or reading about somebody did something. A lot of words, a lot of text. And then fast forward a few years, then we had a lot of photos that we see on Instagram and also on Facebook, use of a lot of filters and really polished content, right? So everyone looks like they're having a fabulous time in Bali. And now it's the next wave of evolution in social media, which is short form videos. And what I love about this is now it's a shift to really unfiltered, lo-fi content that focuses on concise storytelling and also to entertain and delight audiences. And I really feel that this is driving, oh yeah, see, that's pretty cool, huh? There's a lot of videos, by the way, in this presentation, so you'll have to watch a few, and hopefully you're entertained. So what's really fueling this that you're seeing across social media apps is part of a bigger cultural shift in society, right? And as a society, we're really shifting towards relatability as well as authenticity. And we see this particularly pronounced with younger generations. So 84% of young consumers say that they like it when a brand is not perfect. Additionally, 79% say that they really are tired of seeing perfect and polished content. And I know I definitely feel the same. So yeah, since I already dated myself, I'll tell you a bit more. When I was a little girl, it was a time of really polished Vogue magazine covers featuring models like Kate Moss. For those of you that are much younger than me, may not know who Kate Moss is. She's a British Caucasian model who was known for like the drugged out skinny look. So that obviously as a short Asian woman who likes to eat dumplings, not me. So it was really hard for me to relate. But nowadays I'm really excited because everyone, no matter what size you are, what color you are, what shape you are, there's somebody that you can see on social media that you can really relate to. And speaking of relatability, slide change. Okay, there's really two consumer needs, that are driving this. One is around the need for connection. And we know that is the key to human happiness is our social connection. And the second is our need to be entertained, which is a need that has surfaced before Shakespeare theater time. And so as a creator and as a brand, these are the two consumer needs you should take into account when you approach your storytelling. And as Meta, as you know, we own many apps. A couple of them include Instagram and Facebook, rank very high on both establishing connection as well as entertainment. So as you're scrolling through your Instagram feed, not only can you see really cute cat videos, but you're able to build connection with people as well. And by the way, that's the mission of our company, Meta, is to really around building connection with people. And with that, just to kind of share some of the data we're seeing on the platform, since coming out of the pandemic, we're seeing a massive massive increase in number of Reels shares. So 50% of Reels increase played on Facebook and Instagram. But not only that are people just consuming Reels, but people are actually wanting to share it with other people, seeking connection with it. So we're seeing 1 billion Reels reshare through DMs on Instagram. And so if you're a brand, you may be asking like, okay, that's really cool, you know, like the young generation, they're making all these like funny short form videos. Like, what does that mean for me, right? So it actually means a lot for you because Reels is really where a brand becomes more culturally relevant. We see that almost half of Instagram accounts are interacting with Reels, whether it's through likes or through following or through commenting. We're also seeing that Reels is a place where brands get discovered as well as drive action. So adding to your normal campaign feed and stories, if you add Reels, we see greater favorability score as well as action purchase intent. And that's why it's really important to have your video creative that inspires your audience. So next up, I'm going to talk about 3 key themes of how you do that. And the 3 themes are, okay, sorry, clicking. There we go. Okay, the 3 key themes are you should make sure that your Reels creative is entertaining, digestible, and relatable. And to kind of double click into each one, what does it mean to be entertaining, right? Like, you really want your video to leave your audience thinking like, woo, that was a lot of fun. You know, that was really delightful. And so you really need to engage your audience across all of their senses, right? Like what they see, what they hear, what they feel from the heart. If only we could do what they can smell, but maybe in the metaverse we can do that, but not just yet. So really designed for sound on. And we see that 80% of Reels are viewed with sound on. But on top of that, we want to make sure that they have dazzling effects, right? And we see that 40% of Reels really use effects. So here are some examples. On the first one, let me try to play this. Okay, maybe it's not going to play. Okay, there we go. Ha! So the first one, you see, he transforms into a baseball. So it's a cool visual effect, like you see a person. Oh, no. Actually, he's a baseball. The second one, it elicits more of an emotional response. So this is a brand that's called Carlton Dry. They're like a beer company. And usually when you think of beer, you think of like a manly, burly man, like, you know, like a guy's night with beer. But this guy, he does something really unexpected with the beer. So here he's like the manly man, you know. Okay, actually, beer can be consumed by all types of guys, you know, and you don't have to you consume it in a flannel shirt, you can do something really fun with it. And then the last one, the last video, is around visual effects. So here you can see she's transforming her bags in different ways, right? So it's really delighting the audience, like, what's next? Oh my God, a cat, right? Like, who doesn't love a cat ending? Maybe people that don't like cats, but I love cats. So the second theme is around making it digestible. And this is around really making sure that your audience really knows your key takeaway. So really nailing the hook. Because sometimes you watch a video and you're like, what was that about, right? You don't want your audience to think that. You need to be really, really clear and in their face about what you want them to take away. So a lot of times that's also reinforcing it with text overlay. So 65% of Reels use text sticker overlay into their videos. And then the last tip is actually counter to the last one I just gave you, which is sometimes, depending on your product, showing and not telling is the best way. So a few examples here. The first one, so she, you know, tells you what the problem is, right? And then in the end, she gives you a very clear call to action, which is going to come up here. Try it now. Photo leap. Very clear what she wants you to do, right? The second one, it's also very similar to the first one, but here the example is around the text overlay. So you can see she walks you through every single step so you know what to do. And then the third one has no words in text. It's just really showcasing the outfits for Adidas Golf. So it's a great example of a show, not tell ad. The last theme is making it relatable, right? So remember, we're moving away from the super polished content of Kate Moss on a Vogue magazine cover. We're going to people that are just like you and me. So you really want to build a connection here. And that's about being personal, right? So putting in moments at which people recognize, like, yeah, I've been there before. Or speaking their language of the audience that you want to connect with. And then also partnering with creators. Because sometimes as a brand, you're like, I don't know how to connect with this specific group of audience. But you know what? Creators, they really know their stuff when it comes to audiences. They know what works with their audience. And a few great examples here. So the first one is, you can see already, the person who over-exaggerates. So I'm sure you already have some people in mind around that. Like, oh my God, you're listening to this person BS you for the longest time. Isn't this a perfect time for beer, right? Everyone recognizes that moment in that person. The second one is I was just talking about my hair earlier with backstage with another speaker, actually the speaker that's coming up next. Like here, the humidity is so hard, with the hair, like everyone recognizes that moment. And then here, even though it's the same creator, it seems like you're talking to a friend about it and your friend is giving you advice on what you should be doing. So it's a really, really personable bathroom talk. And then the last one is the use of a creator, but instead of, and what she's doing is she's marketing a makeup product, but instead of just doing it straightforward, she does it in a really creative way. So you can see here, she's mixing all the makeup products like it's a cooking video, right? She's mixing it in a bowl, okay, adding all sorts of delicious things in there. And then, voila, she looks fabulous, right? After eating all that makeup. Amazing. So really, really creative ways that you can make content relatable. All right. And then, so I think what better way to learn about Reels than from a creator herself. So next up, I have a creator who will be sharing her tips with you, if I can get this clicker to work in that direction. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to play this, if I can. Okay, that did not work. Okay, I meant to share a video with you on the creator that will share some tips with you. But since that did not work, I'm going to continue to move and improvise like a creator. So the reason why it's important to use creators for your content is because people actually trust creators, right? And find that they have a lot of credibility. So we find that 78% of consumers said that creators are influential for helping them discover new brands. But not only that, they trust them. And they trust them a lot more than brands, especially what they say about themselves. So that makes a lot of sense. And we also see it through the data as well, especially in the younger generation. And with the key themes, if you remember, the key themes are make it entertaining, make it digestible, make it relatable. Now, how can you actually do that, right? Like, okay, that sounds easy, but how do you do that? So here I wanted to share kind of 4 story types for you. And actually my favorite story types to kind of inspire you a bit. So the first story type will show up here. It's called the transformation. I'm sure all of you have seen a lot of these. Oh, you guys taking photos, so let me get out of your way. So transformation, if you're a brand or you're a creator creating content for a brand, it's a great way to really emphasize a product feature or a brand idea. So in the first example I have, it's with the auto company called Indomoto. And the key takeaway that they want their audience to have is how compact their car is. So let me play this for you. All right, so here it is. Your new ride pulls up. Look how cute and small. Look at it, right? Tiny, tiny. Oops, let's jump in. So that was a lot of fun. The second one is this brand called Head and Shoulders. Now since I've already dated myself, For those of you that may not know, this is a brand that's been around for a long time. It's actually really known for getting rid of dandruff. So not the sexiest thing that you can think of. I'm sorry if anyone works on Head & Shoulders in the crowd. But you know, like traditionally it has not been known as the sexiest brand. So they're really looking for reels to kind of revitalize their brand and make it fresher. So what they do is this. So they have a series of transformations where one very attractive guy throws to another very attractive guy with great hair, no dandruff. Look at all these attractive guys, right? Doesn't it make you want to watch this ad over and over and over again? Okay, so that's the transformation. Moving on, so here, second one is around the product demo. What's great about this one is that you don't need like a fancy Hollywood studio to make this. This is super lo-fi. It seems like, you know, you showing your friend like, hey, look at this cool app or this cool new product. So a brand or creator can automatically display this. Actually, my kids love these types of Reels videos, but they watch it with like toys. So I don't know if you've seen any of these like unboxing. I'm like, what are they doing? They're just opening up a toy, but somehow they like it. So here's an example from Adore Me, the lingerie brand. See, so easy. You just order, pick a bunch of bras, you get a box delivered to you, and then you only pay for what you keep. Ta-da! Super simple, right? And then the second one is kind of giving your audience an idea of what to do with your product, right? So in this case, you know, our beloved beer, Tiger Radler, shows how you can add an extra touch. So it's really simple. You know, you just kind of cut up some citrus, you add some sugar, you add some fire if you happen to have that in your house. And then you have this great drink that really makes you want to have some beer, even though it's before noontime right now. That does sound like delicious? Delicious, right? I think so. All right. And then the third product type is the listicle. So this is like the most like in-your-face, straightforward one. Like this is what I want you to take away. You saw a couple examples earlier. Here's another one. You know, like 3 hacks on how to edit your photos like a pro. So giving your audience some tips about how to use your product or the product that you're trying to market. And then the last one is really doubling down on the relatability factor. Remember, that was one of the 3 key themes we talked about, right? Being relatable. So this one, it seems like you're having like a one-on-one chat with a creator. It's just you and her, even though you don't really know her, but you know, it seems like you know her. And this one leads into a demo of an app. But you see how intimate this is? It looks like you're actually having a video call with her in her home. Okay, so I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you can see some ideas and hopefully some inspiration on how to jazz up your Reels and your Reels ads. Okay, so as mentioned, when you add Reels into your normal campaign, it's not only good for brand lift, but I know especially nowadays, cash is king, what people care about is around conversion lift. And so 97% increased likelihood of page visits as well as add to cart, and 90% increased likelihood of purchase. Who doesn't like that? That spells ka-ching, especially in this economic environment, which is great. Okay. So some case studies to show here. Oh, actually, I really like this one. This is a lot of fun. So this Reels is like 14 creators involved here. It's a collaboration between Boss and Russell Athletics, and actually a creator also directed this video, which they presented a lot of different outfits. So it's another great show versus tell video example. And here they saw a 1,600% increase in social engagement for Boss, as well as a 6.4-point lift in favorability. And then next example we have is a hair care brand. Oh, too bad I can't show it. Okay. But another example of when you add Reels into your normal campaign, you can actually get lower cost per acquisition, which is also good these days. So you might be asking, where is my next slide? Because I'm asking the same thing too. Okay, so you might be asking, oops, nope, not that one. Okay, there we go. Nope, not that one either. Well, okay, so you might be asking, I'm going to go off script here. So you might be asking, okay, now I'm really interested in Reels. I'm really interested in using creators. How can I engage them? Well, the best way is to work with our Meta business partner like Kobe, because they not only know creators, can connect them with the brands, they also know how best to leverage Instagram and Facebook to get the best performance out of your ad. And what I wanted to show you was a case study that we did with Kobe as well as a luxury brand, Bonia, in which they had an increase in favorability, I think, because I can't see my slides, but they had really great performance from that collaboration together with creators. Oh, my slides are back. Look at that, so magical. Okay, see? Meta business partners, and here is the case study I was talking about. Yes, okay, so I was wrong. It was not favorability. It was a 1.2x lift in view content actions with branded content ads with product tags. So that collaboration between Bonia, the brand, and Kobe, they were able to link them up with great creators that drove good results for the advertiser. And so with that, I just went through a lot of content, a lot of video, but hopefully that was helpful for you in terms of the tips and tricks on how to run a great Reels campaign and how to leverage our creators and partners like Kobe for that. With that, thank you so much, and thank you for all your patience on the slides.